Hey everyone, welcome to the deep dive. We are going to be talking about critical reading today.
Yeah,
Um, and wow, you guys gave us a lot to go through this time.
you did.
A bunch of stuff about critical reading strategies,
It's gonna be great though.
college handouts, YouTube videos, even some excerpts from a textbook.
Lots to dig into.
We got it all.
We do.
But don't worry, that's what we're here for.
Yeah,
Right? To break it all down.
exactly. We're gonna we're gonna pull out the really good stuff.
Yeah, and make it make sense.
And highlight, what's gonna be most useful to you.
Yeah. So, this isn't about just skimming through a bunch of pages.
No.
This is about really getting in there with what you read
Absolutely.
and really trying to understand all the levels of it.
Like becoming a better reader, basically.
Yes, becoming a better reader and getting more out of everything that you read.
Exactly. So, are we ready to get started?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's jump in. Let's start with that college handout.
Okay.
12 strategies for critical reading.
Yeah, 12. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Some of them are kind of, things you already know, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
But there are a few that are like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so which one stood out to you?
Contextualizing, that one's really important.
Contextualizing. Okay. um, I feel like that's one of those words that sounds really academic.
It does sound kind of jargony.
So what does it actually mean for a normal person just trying to read a book?
So think about it like this. Imagine you're reading a novel.
Okay.
It's set in Victorian England.
Right.
And the character's like, oh man, I haven't a shilling to my name.
Oh, yeah.
So you might get the basic gist.
Yeah, they're broke.
They're broke, right.
Right.
But without knowing the historical context,
Yeah.
what was a shilling back then?
Oh, right.
Where did that put you, on the social ladder? You're missing a whole layer.
Oh, so it's not just about the words themselves.
Right.
It's about the world that they came from.
The world behind the words.
Okay.
Yeah, and the handout gives us some really good practical tips.
Okay, good.
On how to do that. Look up words you don't know. Do a little, Googling.
Like DNF.
Yeah, about the author, the time period.
Google it.
I mean, you could even just Google, what did a shilling buy you back then in Victorian England?
That's such a good tip, though.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't realize that you could just look that stuff up.
Yeah.
It's okay to not know everything and just use the internet to figure it out.
Be a little detective.
Exactly. Okay, what else? What other strategies from this handout were oh yeah, this is good?
So this one is important, but maybe a little uncomfortable. Reflecting on challenges to your beliefs.
Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like people avoid that one a lot.
Yeah, because
I want to read things I agree with.
Yeah, reading should be fun, right? You want to be comfy.
Yeah.
But sometimes, the best reading experiences are the ones that kind of shake things up a little bit.
Oh, for sure. Challenge your assumptions.
Make you think.
Yeah, make you think.
Yeah.
Maybe even change your mind about something.
Yeah, you're not always going to be right.
Exactly.
Okay, so be open to being wrong, basically.
Yeah, and be open to having your mind changed.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, before we move on from the handout, I have to ask about paraphrasing and summarizing.
Oh, yeah.
They make a big deal about the difference between the two.
Mm-hmm.
But I always get those mixed up.
I think a lot of people do.
I think so too. So can you help us out? What's the difference?
Okay, think about it like baking. You're making a cake.
Okay, I like where this is going.
So paraphrasing is adapting a recipe.
Okay.
You're using different ingredients, different words.
Yeah.
But you're essentially making the same dish, right?
Right.
Preserving the original meaning.
Okay.
Summarizing is more like giving someone a taste test.
Oh.
You're just giving them a little bite. You're hitting the highlights, the key flavors, the main points. That's such a good way to put it. I'm going to remember that.
Good.
So paraphrasing is the whole thing.
The whole cake.
And summarizing is just the little taste test.
Little sample, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now let's move on to those YouTube videos.
Yes.
The first one tackles John Donne's poem, Death Be Not Proud.
Yeah, it's a classic.
It is.
And this guy, he just breaks it down so well.
Yeah.
He even points out this cool thing called enjambment.
Enjambment.
Enjambment. Yeah, it's a fancy word.
It sounds very fancy.
It's
is this going to be on the test?
No test, don't worry.
Okay, good.
All it means is the way a poet carries a thought
Okay.
from one line to the next without any punctuation.
Oh. Okay.
So listen to this. He uses this example. Death be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so.
Okay, yeah.
Do you hear how it just flows?
Right into the next.
It adds this urgency,
Yeah.
a breathless plea almost.
You're right, yeah. I never would have noticed that.
Right. And that's what's so cool about this stuff. Like, you start to see things you might have missed before.
Yeah, and like the craft of a writer.
Yes. Like, how much thought went into it.
Yeah.
Every word choice, every line break.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling like a more attentive reader just from this conversation.
Me too, me too.
And speaking of paying attention,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that he also talked about mohonymy,
Oh, yeah.
using crown for queen.
Yeah.
And that ties back to like the whole contextualizing thing.
Exactly. It's all connected.
Right.
Metonymy is a type of figurative language,
Oh, right.
which is when words are used in a way that, isn't their literal meaning
Oh, yeah.
to create a certain effect.
To like make a point.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So what about that second video?
Oh, yeah.
It's all about close reading.
Mm-hmm.
And they use The Raven
Mm-hmm.
by Edgar Allan Poe as an example. I'm already spooked.
Oh, it's a good one.
It is.
Perfect for close reading because his language is so intentional.
It's very deliberate. Right?
Yeah, very layered.
Yeah.
And like right from the beginning, you know how he starts it? Once upon a midnight dreary.
Oh, yeah.
He's playing with that classic fairy tale opening,
Yeah.
but he's putting this dark, creepy twist on it right away.
Oh, yeah.
Like a warning sign,
Yeah. Like setting the scene.
Setting the mood, yeah. And, through close reading,
Okay.
we can really see how he does that, Every single word builds that atmosphere of like, oh no, something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This isn't just about, analyzing other people's work.
Okay.
It can help you become a better writer, too.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Think about it.
I'm all ears.
Poe creates a mood through his words, his imagery.
Mm.
You can use those same techniques
In my own writing.
in your own writing.
Okay, you have my attention. I'm very into this.
It's like a masterclass
Yeah.
in how to tell a good story.
Okay. I'm into it.
Yeah.
But let's move on to, maybe something a little less glamorous.
Sure.
Text structure.
Ah, yes.
I know it's important, but it always just seems so, like, dry.
It can feel a little technical,
Yeah, a little
but
bit.
it doesn't have to be.
Okay.
So the textbook excerpts, they explain that understanding text structure is like having a blueprint of the
Yeah.
meaning. Like you see how the whole thing fits together. They go through all the different types.
Yeah, chronological, compare and contrast, cause and effect, problem and solution. I feel like I'm back in school.
I know, right?
That's a lot.
But this textbook, get this, they use pizza to explain it all.
Pizza. Okay, now you have my attention. This I gotta hear.
Right. So imagine you're describing a pizza.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, it's got this crispy crust, all that gooey cheese.
Delicious.
Toppings. So that's like a descriptive structure,
Okay.
focusing on those sensory details.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're explaining how to make the pizza, you'd use a chronological structure, right? Step by step.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about how the information is arranged
Right.
to achieve a specific purpose.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Pizza as a teaching tool.
Who knew? Okay, but we also have that other video
Oh, yeah.
about text structure. And this one focuses on informational texts
Right.
and compares the structure to, like a building,
It does.
less delicious than pizza.
Less delicious, but still important.
Yeah, but okay, tell me more. I'm interested.
So it's saying, like, a building needs strong beams,
Okay.
a good foundation.
Right, to hold it up.
Yeah. And a text needs a solid structure
Right.
to, like, convey its message.
Right.
For instance, the intro is like the foundation.
Yeah.
It sets the stage.
Yeah.
And then your main ideas are like the framework
So it's all about how the pieces fit together.
to create the whole.
Okay, I think I'm getting it. We've
Yeah.
covered a lot.
We have.
But there's one last piece of the puzzle. Using textual evidence.
Yes. And this is where our final source comes in.
Okay.
Explaining how to use quotes to support what you're saying.
Right, like you got to have the proof.
Like a lawyer presenting their case.
Okay, yeah. You can't just say it. You got to prove it.
And it gives you some really helpful guidelines,
Right.
like how to set up a quote.
Right.
Avoid unnecessary phrases. Use quotes effectively.
Not just like throwing them in there.
No, be smart about it.
Yeah.
And it even shows like how much stronger a paragraph becomes
Right.
when you support it with quotes.
Oh, it makes such a difference.
It really does.
Yeah, it's like, anyone can just state their opinion.
Yeah.
But if you can actually like back it up with evidence from the text,
You're golden.
it's so much more convincing.
So much more persuasive.
Okay, I love this.
Good.
So we've talked about understanding context,
Mm-hmm.
challenging our beliefs,
Yes.
paraphrasing and summarizing, oh my God, analyzing poetry,
Close reader.
close reading, Text structure,
Don't forget text structure.
textual evidence. We've done it all.
That's a lot.
I feel a little overwhelmed,
Yeah.
but in a good way.
In a good way. Like we've just unlocked.
Yeah. It's like a whole new world.
Yeah, a whole new world of reading.
I love it.
Me too. It is a lot, but it's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Because by, really understanding these techniques, you become so much more than just a passive reader.
Oh, yeah. You're not just like letting the words wash over you.
No, you're in there, you're like, wrestling with the text.
You're like in the ring with it.
You're asking questions.
Yeah. You're really trying to get something out of it.
Yeah, and that makes it, like, so much more rewarding.
Oh, for sure.
It's not just entertainment anymore.
Yeah.
It's like a challenge,
To yourself.
to think in new ways.
I love that. Okay, so we've got all these tools in our critical reading toolbox.
We do. We're loaded up.
But, like, how do we actually use them? Like, what's the practical application?
Okay, so think about the world we live in. We're just bombarded with information all the time. Articles, social media, ads.
It's overwhelming.
It really is. It's like, how do you even,
Make sense of it all.
Yeah, and that's where critical reading comes in.
Okay.
You can filter out all that noise.
Oh, yeah.
You can spot the biases, the logical fallacies.
Right.
You can form your own opinion.
An informed opinion.
Exactly.
So it's not just about, like, what they're saying,
No.
but, like, why they're saying it.
Exactly. And how it's trying to, like,
Influence you.
influence you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like being a smart shopper.
Oh, yeah.
You don't just buy the first thing you see.
No, you got to do your research.
Yeah, you got to compare prices, read the reviews.
Yeah.
And it's like that with information, too.
I love that.
Huh?
Okay, can we go back to that idea of, like,
Yeah.
challenging your own beliefs?
That one, yeah.
I think I'm still kind of stuck on that one.
I get it. It's not easy.
It's hard.
It's uncomfortable. Nobody likes to, like, be wrong or have their whole worldview, like, shaken up.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. If we only read things that we agree with,
Okay.
are we really learning anything?
I guess not.
It's like staying in your comfort zone all the time.
Yeah, it's safe, but
It's safe, but it's boring.
you're not growing.
Exactly. Imagine, like, you're a musician
Yeah, okay.
who only plays the same song over and over.
You'll get good at that song.
You'll be great at that song.
But that's it.
That's it. You got to try new things.
Okay, I see your point.
Right.
So how do we do that? How do we challenge our beliefs through reading?
Okay, so it doesn't have to be like, drastic. You don't have to read something you like, totally hate.
Right.
But maybe, an article with a different viewpoint, a
Right.
book that explores, a different worldview.
Okay, and then what? Do we just, like, argue with the author in our head the whole time?
You could do that. I mean,
It's tempting.
but try to approach it with, a little bit of
Open.
openness, curiosity. Ask yourself, like, why do they believe this?
Mm-hmm.
What are their points? What's their evidence? And, like, does any of it challenge what I think?
So it's more about asking questions
Yeah.
than,
Yeah.
like, winning a debate.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe your own beliefs will be even stronger
Oh, yeah.
after being challenged.
Right, like you've tested them.
You've tested them. Or maybe you'll discover something totally new
That would be cool.
that you hadn't even thought about before.
Oh, I like that. Okay, this is starting to make more sense.
Good.
And I'm still a little overwhelmed by all these strategies.
It's a lot.
Where do I even begin?
Start small. You don't have to do everything at once.
Okay, good.
Pick one or two that you're like, oh, yeah, that resonates with me. And
Yeah.
just try it out in your next book.
Okay, so, like, maybe I'll try paying more attention to the text structure.
Yeah. Or see if you can spot any figurative language.
Oh, yeah.
Or think about, the historical context
Mhm.
and how that might be shaping the author's views.
The important thing is to, like, be engaged,
Be present.
not just, like, reading the words on the page.
Exactly.
Okay, so, like, really thinking about what you're reading.
Yeah.
Okay? And who knows, I might discover something, like,
Right.
totally new that I never would have seen before.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
It's like finding a hidden level in a video game.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've given our listeners a pretty good toolkit
I think so.
for critical reading.
We've loaded them up.
We have.
They're ready to go.
They are. But before we wrap things up,
Yeah.
I want to leave them with a challenge.
Ooh, I love a good challenge.
Okay, listeners.
There it is.
Okay, I'm listening. Pick up something you've been meaning to read,
Okay.
or even revisit a favorite book,
I like that.
and try applying just one or two.
Doesn't have to be all of them.
Now, just one or two.
Kick your favorites.
Yeah.
No.
Of these strategies, maybe focus on identifying the text structure,
Mm-mm.
or pay really close attention to The author's use of figurative language.
Good one.
And most importantly,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to, challenge your own assumptions.
Yeah. Yeah. Get in there and really wrestle with the material.
Exactly. Don't just accept everything you read at face value.
No, question it. Think about it critically.
Yeah. It's like, have you ever, watched a movie with a friend,
Oh.
and then afterwards you have that, really great discussion about it?
Oh, the best.
Yeah. What did it all mean? What were the themes?
Yes.
It's like that, but with the book and just,
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
Like having a conversation with the book. And who knows, maybe this deep dive will inspire you to
yeah.
explore other areas
Yeah.
with that same, critical lens.
Because it's not just about books.
No, it's about life.
Yeah.
Like everything we read, everything we hear.
It's like how to think,
It really is.
not just what to think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So whether you're, reading a news article or having a debate with someone or, I don't know.
Just like making a decision.
Yeah. These skills can help you,
Navigate it all.
navigate those complex situations, make better choices.
It's like the superpower.
It kind of is.
Yes.
And that's why I think, cultivating this critical mindset is
Yeah.
one of the most valuable things you can do
Absolutely.
for yourself. It's about being curious. It's about
Questioning everything.
questioning and always searching for that deeper understanding.
Oh, I love that. It's about becoming a lifelong learner.
Yes. Always open to new ideas.
Always evolving.
Exactly.
Oh, I like that.
And who knows, this deep dive might be just the beginning.
Yeah. The start of your journey.
Exactly.
Okay, folks, that's a wrap on this deep dive into critical reading strategies.
We did it.
We did it. We covered so much, from understanding context,
To challenging our beliefs, to, oh my God, we did it all.
analyzing poetry, close reading, you name it.
It was a whirlwind.
It was,
But a good one?
but a good one. And remember, the next time you pick up a book or anything,
Anything.
an article, whatever, don't just read it.
No.
Think about it.
Think about it. Engage with it.
Challenge yourself.
That's right.
Because reading, it's not just about consuming words.
That's about so much more.
Yeah. It's about getting those sparks of ideas.
Getting your imagination.
Yeah. Expanding how you understand the world around you.
Absolutely.
And with that, happy reading, everyone.
Happy read.
Till next time, keep diving deep.